Good.
So we have her generational crash out over our greatest ally, Israel.
Okay, everybody, Shabbat Shalom. I just want to say Shabbat Shalom to everybody back at home. Happy Hanukkah to our greatest friends and allies. And, you know, this is a good time to mention that Israel does have a right to defend itself. Tucker Carlson is Adolf Hitler.
And guess what? And you're going to say that please say that you're not suicidal.
And TikTok does need to be purchased by the Mossad. It's just how I'm feeling today. I am not different. Maybe you are different. Welcome back to Candace.
This is, wait.
Okay, you guys are crazy. You guys are absolutely crazy. The amount of
You're crazy after that intro.
people who attacked me for sending out a tweet being like, hey, I'm good, I'm alive. We had a very productive conversation. And they were like, she got the call. She got the call.
Yeah, because when you farm conspiracy theorists, you have to... Okay, listen. You don't understand why all these people are mad at you. When you farm retards and then you start acting smart, they get mad. Duh. That's what happens. They want to hear about how Erica Kirk told you behind closed doors that Israel did it and Trump is about to shut it down.
She's betrayed us. She's doing something else. I can't believe it. This has all just been a show. Calm down, okay? What do you think happened? Erica said, stop. And then I was frozen for 4 hours and 30 minutes, just like as they just put all of these talking points into my head. That is not what happened. I keep telling you guys, I am not governable. I am basically akin to Kanye West. I never felt more seen than when he tweeted a lot of years ago, just fired my manager because I realized I can't be managed. That is me. That tweet right there, I was like, oh, gosh.
How'd that work out?
Yes, Kanye, that I get this. Okay.
Yeah.
Nobody is changing their mind anything. How ridiculous would it have been if I'm doing all of this, investigating, asking all of these questions, and then Erica Kirk offers to answer some of these questions, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to go. I can't betray the people. I don't want any answers to the questions. I just want to ask them. No, this is the entire reason we are doing this. We've been looking at the situation.
The problem is that she is in an untenable situation. I think that every rational person knows that if they couldn't figure out if Israel killed JFK because he was trying to pressure Israel to join the nuclear committee or stop them from getting nuclear weapons, if we couldn't figure out if Israel could do that, then what do you think the fucking odds are that we're going to figure out that they killed a podcaster? Really? Like, let's think about this just for 3 seconds. Like, even if Israel did kill Charlie Kirk, Candace Owens isn't going to be the person that's going to figure this out. So the truth is that you were in this to lose even from the beginning. The game was rigged right from the start. You thought that you were going to go into this, everybody was going to listen to you, people were going to see your side of it. Absolutely not. JFK was trying to dismantle CIA. Yeah, he was trying to do other things too, right? And maybe it was the CIA. But what my point is that we all know that, I mean, like, let's just take off the conspiracy cap for a second. We all know Candace Owens isn't going to expose that Israel killed Charlie Kirk, right? I mean, we all know this isn't going to happen. Like, we know this. It's not really going to happen, right? Yeah, of course, it's not going to happen. Okay. All right. So we all know it's not going to happen. So at this point, any time that she backs down on it, or she has to process new information, or she approaches it from any direction other than the conspiracy direction, she will get hate from her audience. It's like, again, if you attract a bunch of raccoons, they're going to want trash. They are. If you bring them out caviar, they're going to throw that shit on the ground, and they're going to want your leftover Chipotle. They don't give a fuck about what the facts are.
Going, why can't Turning Point USA just answer basic questions?
Yeah, she's totally boxed herself in.
I can tell you guys that yesterday, for 4 hours and 30 minutes. There were no rules.
Oh.
They said you can ask us any question that you want, anything that's on your mind, which I appreciated. And some of you guys are thinking, who is they? Who is they?
Yeah.
It's the Jews, obviously. Just kidding. It's Justin Strife. Justin Strife was in the room.
Is he a Jew? Yeah, that's what matters, right? I mean, is she trying to just laugh this off?
Like I just said, had a vivid dream this weekend, and Charlie came to me and he told me that he was betrayed.
It came to me in a dream. How do you know Charlie Kirk was murdered by Israel? I had a dream and he came to me and he said, Candace, you have to tell the world. Israel did this to me and nobody wants to know it. I don't know how I missed this. This is amazing.
And so for me, you don't have to believe that, but I do believe that. And
I don't believe it.
It was the immediate sense I got, actually. And I don't know who exactly it is that betrayed him, but I also felt in the dream that it is soon going to be revealed, that it's actually inevitable that it is going to be revealed, that there is nothing and no one that is going to stop the truth from coming out, and it is going to have international consequences. Take that to the bank. Quote me on that.
Oh, God. I was going to make a joke, but I'm not going to.
Women tend to have a strong, like I just said, had a vivid dream this weekend, and Charlie came to me and he told me that he was betrayed. And so for...
All right. Well, the main source is she had a dream that Charlie Kirk told her that she was right. Oh, wow. This is insane. And so this is the reason why everybody's mad about it, too. It's because this is Charlie Kirk's widow, Erica Kirk, talking about it with Israel. Here we go.
Hate is hate. It's evil. Charlie and I have always been very clear on our stance. Israel, Jewish people. It's awful.
Mm-hmm. This poor woman.
Awful. Anti-Semitism
this poor
is...
woman.
What healing factor comes out of hating Jewish people? What healing factor comes out of hating Christians? What healing factor comes out? Hate in general. Nothing. Nothing.
Why would Israel do
Charlie
this?
always would say very clearly, Jew hate was brain rot. He would always say it. We've been to Israel twice together. And to be able to walk in the place where our Lord walked and see the Bible come to life in Technicolor.
Wow.
How could you hate that place?
Nobody hates the place of Israel.
How could you hate the Jewish people?
So this is the quote, and this quote has 14 million
views. Hate is
This
hate.
has 14 million views on social media. The assassination of my husband was heavy, but what really upsets me is when people don't like the Jews. Erica Shabbat Shalom Kirk. Yep. There you go. It's fake quote. Of course. No way. Did you really think that's what she said? Holy shit. Yes. Crazy name. And let's read a few of the replies to this, okay? Notice how she's just about to say what good comes out of hating Muslims as she stops herself. Her scheming Mossad mind constantly playing the angles despite the grief mask. Her tears used to double down on the Zionism Charlie was abandoning that got him killed. Oh my God, I love the new middle name. Ha ha, brilliant. That's such a good one, isn't it? And notice how she didn't say what healing comes out of hating Muslims. I don't know if she stopped herself from saying it, calling it presidential run in 2028. Is that real or AI? Oh my fucking God. We love Jews, we hate Zionists, don't confuse the two. Girl, with all due respect, that sounds so forced. So there has been a huge amount of people. Oh, here we go. She's going through the 5 normal stages of grief: pyrotechnics, merch, podcasting, grifting, and acceptance. play the Charlie Kirk video. What is it?
That there was something else going on here. Epstein was not some sort of whiz kid hedge fund manager. Epstein was playing a part. Epstein was a LARPer. Epstein was cast for a specific role, and he played it really well. It's nothing new that if you're in the intel agencies, you want to try and get as much blackmail on powerful people as possible. Easy, not hard. And this is no longer just speculation. First of all, the evidence that shows that Epstein was a creation of either Mossad, Israeli intelligence.
Of course, right? Why am I not surprised? And so anyway, I'm convinced Erica Kirk is a clone. Many of these people are clones. Disney, they're bred for a purpose. Disney even admitted to it. And they mentioned some by name. The clones are built for a reason. And so we have this crypto enthusiast. Could you believe that? Wow, what a shock. And 100%. Yeah, true, brother. And you know what? I don't know what it is, but I kind of feel like she's acting in some videos. I don't know. It's crazy, bro. Clone Aid has been cloning humans since 2002. The first clone was a woman. They named her Eve. Who is this? God, family, country, community, veteran, Patriots United, MAGA. Oh my fucking God. You know what really makes me sad is that I see all of these people and there is a special breed of retard, and leftists have their own retards. But goddamn, does the Trump community and all the people involved with that, they've got them too. And they've got some of the dumbest motherfuckers on the internet. They're sitting there comparing notes from AI-generated photos, and they're like, oh, did you see this about the dinosaur on the pyramid? Oh, no, I didn't see it. Did you see this about the UFO on top of the iceberg in Antarctica? They're like, no way. All right, I'll trade you. Oh, wow. Now we're both retarded. Finally, he says it. Yes, of course. The finest specimens of retard. You're a Mossad agent now. Yeah, Asmongold in action, right, guys? So, yeah. And are you ever sad that your mom missed this AI boom? I am. I am so sad that she's not around to see this. Because this is, like, things were dumb whenever she was around, but compared to how it is now, I don't even know what it'd be like, man. And by the way, she would think Israel killed Charlie Kirk. I'll tell you right now, she would think that it was, actually, you know what? She wouldn't think that it was Israel. She would think that it was like this other shadow organization that is like using Israel. She would, like, the type of fucking things that she would think up would be fucking nuts. And she'd be right. Was she ever wrong, though? Well, so there was one time, and I do want to move forward with this, but there was one time that basically, she was cooking me dinner, and she was telling me about QAnon and about how Trump is, in 2 weeks from now, going to arrest Biden, going to put him in jail, get rid of him, and on top of that, he's going to get everybody else, Trump and the Patriots are going to come back. Biden isn't even in the White House right now. He's actually in a production studio in California. And they're going to expose all of this, and then they're going to take down all of the pedophile elite networks with Pizzagate. And I remember she was cooking like a stew or roast beef. And I said, because she was like, my mom, like, you not even believe this, but she had a master's degree, and she was like she was like involved in science and shit. She did like experimental psychology. Like, she was a writer, like an artist. Like, she's not stupid. And so, so isn't it crazy how they keep saying 2 weeks, but then nothing happens? How many more 2 weeks is it going to be until you realize it's not going to happen? And I remember she was standing in front of the fucking, in front of the oven. And she had like a fork, and she was just like. And I never heard about QAnon again. Because the thing is, yeah, like, she knew something. No, she never brought it up. I never saw her looking at it ever again. Trust the plan? Yeah. Well, this is like month 4 out of this shit, right? I mean, like, how long is it going to take? Yeah, I killed her hobby. Yeah, you're welcome, by the way. Holy shit, that was nuts. And anyway, in case I lose my place, I want to have that there. So, yes, and this is the... we will go back and forth, okay?
I said, Mike, that we are fighting today the battle that the Maccabees fought. They fought for the survival of the Jewish people and the Jewish faith against an enemy that wanted to extinguish us, wipe us out from the face of the earth. We were fighting our battle, but we were also fighting the battle of civilization.
Wow.
Because our civilization is based on the Judeo-Christian tradition. And if the Maccabees had failed, there'd be no Judaism, there would be no Judeo-Christian civilization. There would be no Maccabees. There would be no United States, there wouldn't be the civilization of freedom.
Thank God.
The respect for
Thank
our
God.
common traditions, our common values. All of that would not happen if it weren't for those
If there
five
was not
brave
for Applebee's.
brothers. They actually made the whole difference.
Yeah.
So that spirit animates these brave soldiers that are here today and their comrades who are fighting in Gaza or in Lebanon or in Iran, wherever is necessary to not only preserve the Jewish nation and the Jewish state, but preserve civilization against the barbarians. The barbarians are out there. They did a horrible thing to us on October 7th. They'll never do it again. But they're doing it against Jews in Sydney and Jews elsewhere in America and elsewhere. This is our common battle against the barbarians. We have won it here, we're winning it here, we'll win it everywhere. Chag Sameach, Chag Chanukah Sameach Likulchem. Toda rabba lachem. Toda rabba.
Well, there we go. And so, as you look like Palpatine, I mean, a lot of people do not, they see something like that and they think that's a bit crazy, right? They do. And which branch of the IDF helped fight the Brits in the revolution? All of them, obviously. So, wow, Candace confirms she was talking with Erica's lawyer and is now backpedaling. Uh-oh.
I want to communicate, and that I did communicate to them, and I hope that they took me seriously on this, or rather
Surely
that they
did.
take my strong advice on this.
Yes.
I said one of the reasons why I really want to sit down is because I want to walk out of here and feel confident saying to my audience, hey, like, there's stuff going on behind the scenes, but Tyler Robinson shot Charlie Kirk.
Right.
Like, that more will come out, but you can take it from me that this is what happened. I was looking to achieve that because there's been a lot of signaling from various people, some people who are experts, some people who have been involved in cases, that there's obviously going to be stuff that the public does not have access to. And so it is at least plausible that they have seen very clear footage that we've been asking for of Tyler Robinson getting up there and taking the shot. Like, they have access to UVU cameras. So I was hoping.
Did you really think they didn't?
To hear that. And I said that. I want to hear why people feel so confident at Turning Point USA that Tyler Robinson is the guy. And at this point, they elected to call the lawyer, like, their lawyer.
Yeah, sure.
Who is involved in this case. One of the lawyers that's involved in this case. There's always a team of lawyers, especially for something like this. And what I got from the lawyer did not make me feel that Tyler Robinson shot Charlie Kirk. It did not make me feel confident that he didn't or did shoot Charlie Kirk. I was very surprised by this. He spoke a very long time. I asked, can you share with me what it is? And I said, when you share this with me, I will not say what that thing is. If we want to protect the integrity of the case, I'm not gonna. If you say we've got the footage of him taking a shot, I promise I won't say that to the audience. It's almost like you can't be
convinced. Yeah,
but
of course.
I will communicate to them that you have something that is solid. And no, to the exact contrary, this guy.
She can't. The thing is that she can't really back off of this a lot because she's dug her heels in with this, and if she does, she's going to lose a lot of credibility from her audience. So we've evolved past whether this is something that's like true or not. And now it's like your reputation is on the line. So what I think she's probably going to do is she's going to slowly and passively move away from this I hope, at least, right? I mean, this is what I would do if I was her. And then just not talk about it anymore.
Effectively said, not effectively, he said that they have nothing but the affidavit. Okay, so what you have, what we have seen is what they have. What is being discussed publicly. You are this whole non-expert problem with well, you don't know. It's like what you read, his messages that don't have any dates on it, Tyler Robinson writing out everything and the clean alibi. That's what they have. And what he explained to me was that that's the affidavit stage. That's where it's at. And then what takes place now is the investigation is ongoing, right? So right now they're looking for more information. And once investigators, they could very well have, obviously, footage. And that is why they might feel that, we're definitely going to get this prosecution. But the reality is they don't actually share that information with the victim. They don't share that information with Erica. They don't, in this part.
Well, obviously, they're not going to. Yeah, big surprise. So after all of this, the big result is that the law enforcement that are going through this case didn't give you all of the evidence. And so logically, because they didn't give you all of the evidence, Israel killed Charlie Kirk.
The process, they will not know what investigators have discovered. This is what the lawyer told me.
How about that?
Until May. Okay.
That's easy.
They have not seen anything that you have not seen.
That's all I'm
what I want you to know. So with that in mind, I'm sitting here going, why are you signaling? Why do I feel like the public's being gaslit on this? There's been nothing that's convincing. There are so many commentators who have gone out and said to you, it's overwhelming. The evidence is overwhelming. The text messages that don't have a date, that don't even sound real, that's overwhelming. That to me feels really fake and gay.
It is. It's fake and gay. Candace confirmed she talked to Erica's lawyer, who's now backpedaling. This was it. Candace is backing down. She lost. And why on earth would the lawyer trust a single thing this woman says? She's so demanding, privileged, and evidence. Are we watching the same video? You're literally a young Mark Levin. Oh, wow. And I think you misinterpreted the comment. Did you watch the clip that you made the comment about? And so that's it. I don't think Tyler Robinson acted alone, not one bit, but we'll never know. Great example is JFK. I don't think it's going to happen either. I don't think so at all. And then so obviously now people are saying that she sold out. Candace got the call. Ian Carroll is the last non-compromised truther. Stay strong, Patriots. Jimbo, keeping it real.
They were sort of most upset with what I obviously a bit of a
sold out,
pitch,
sold out.
I tweeted that
sell out.
It was a godforsaken company and people should not give money to it. And I have to own that. That's aggressive. That is actually aggressive in the retrospect.
It's over. Whack. Candace, you're talking around the issues. The convo with Erica. What's happening? Sell out. Candace Owens is wearing white because she surrendered. Wow. Knew it. Now she's pro-Israel.
I was very frustrated, and I don't know. I felt like we weren't getting any answers, and there were so many lies. And then I was getting attacked for asking all meaningful questions.
I feel sick to my stomach. Please, someone on the team, tell Candace we notice she is off. We already know all of these. Tell us something new. I never thought you would sell out. Saying hi, friend, to you all not buying into this PSYOP MK Ultra shenanigans. What do they have on you, Candace?
That it was within their capacity to answer. And I told you, I definitely...
Okay, I knew she was going to pull a switcheroo and trick us, but she said she doesn't think he did it now? What's going on? She can't even maintain eye contact with her viewers. She's rumbling, stuttering, contradicting herself, nervous. Can we urgently get a body language expert analysis in here, please? This is unbelievable.
Problem in life is that I can rise to anger very quickly. I shared with them that I really felt like I was under attack for telling the truth from the very beginning, like casually when I mentioned the Catholicism thing. Like, what was that about? I was like, look.
Candace has now bent the knee to Erica Kirk, and her chat is in full revolt.
Say something and attribute to him. Alex Clark and Andrew Colvett then jump onto a podcast.
Hell
and doing
no!
That weird interview,
she lost it. She sold out. And this is nuts, man. National security. What about the planes in Egypt? Did she look to the left when she said Tyler Robinson shot Charlie? Did she look to the left? Oh my God. This is such a massive crash out. It is insane.
You guys were telling me not to drink water, so I didn't drink water. Well, I brought my own water, but I didn't drink that water too. It was a lot. There's a lot going on, okay? And the conversation started.
What did you expect whenever you catered to a bunch of crazies? This is what happens. If you cater to crazies, you've got to be crazy. You can't be normal.
With
you can't
Justin
do
Strife very sensibly saying, what are we looking to accomplish here? Like, what is the actual aim of this conversation? And he was pretty clear, and Erica was very clear, that they were sort of most upset with what obviously a bit of a fever pitch, what I tweeted, that it was a godforsaken company and people should not give money to it. And I have to own that. That's aggressive. That is actually aggressive in the retrospect. I was very frustrated. And
absolutely,
I felt like we weren't getting any answers and there were so many lies. And then I was getting attacked for asking all meaningful questions that was within their capacity to answer.
Naturally.
And I told you, I definitely, my problem in life is that I can rise to anger very quickly.
So you got mad and you talked yourself up to a cliff and now you can't get off of it. That's what happened. You're so committed to this that now you've been reduced to saying that the way that you truly know is because Charlie Kirk came to you in a dream. He said, Candace, I've been betrayed.
I shared with them that I really felt like I was under attack for telling the truth from the very beginning.
What?
Casually,
What
when
truth?
I mentioned the Catholicism thing. Like, what was that about? I was like, look, I say something and attribute to him. Alex Clark and Andrew Colvett then jump onto a podcast and they're doing that weird interview, which is clearly aimed at me. And they've teased the interview as aimed at me, but they never say my name. And that to me felt like it was the first, I don't know, the first bit of mud.
Doubling down on
slung,
a dream. Yeah.
Which their answer for that was, hey, that was a really crazy time. A new system had to be put into place. And by no means did Erica give any...
Candace is right, though. You're just a soy boy libtard currently. There's no way. There's no way I've got one of these in chat. Okay, yeah, he's trolling. All right, you're going to get banned. I don't want to read that. It's just annoying. But it's kind of funny. Okay.
The authority to go out and say that the Catholicism thing was a lie. It kind of turned into this big thing. Whatever. Okay, that kind of obviously
anybody
was
saying
not
weird
the
stuff in
meat
chat
of the
for
reason
attention gets banned. That's how it is.
we
Just the
wanted
way
to
it
stop.
goes.
I will say I was immediately refreshed by the fact that one of the first things that Erica did was she owned the lies, or rather, I guess they would cage it as miscommunications.
I don't see why people assume that there's going to be flawless communication whenever some crazy tragedy happens. This is what I think happens is that, like, I've watched things like this develop both on stream and off stream, and official stories and narratives change really fast because people don't really know what's happening. But what happens is that people that are like very conspiratorially minded, they will look at any change of like this like behavior or narrative, they'll view it as basically this is a person changing the opinion, right? They're changing their opinion. They're hiding the truth, and there's some also version of it
coming from various people at the company. Like, look, this is a company with 650 people that are employed. Everybody at this time is exceedingly
cooking hard. No, she hasn't produced any evidence or any justification for 90% of the things that she said. Like, I'm sorry, but like if somebody comes out and they say Charlie Kirk talked to me and told me I was betrayed in a dream, and then you say, oh, let's hear what else this person has to say, you're a retard. You're a retard, and you should feel stupid. Like, it's crazy that this is even a conversation. Like, how is this even a conversation with anything? Like, so she says she talked to Charlie Kirk in a dream, and you're like, oh, no, she really knows what she's talking about. Oh, no, listen to her. You're not giving her the benefit of the doubt. Holy shit. How can you ban somebody for making a joke, then talk about freedom of speech? All right, well, that's another ban.
Emotional, and they are communicating, and no matter what somebody says on Twitter, they assume
gone.
that this communication has come down from management, and that's not always a circumstance. But they owned right away, which felt great, that if you guys recall, Erica sat down with Glenn Beck. I actually missed this portion because I didn't get to watch the interview in its entirety, and we were pulling clips because a lot was coming out very quickly. But there was a portion that was going around that was viral, and it was Erica saying that she had Charlie's phone, and that Charlie never texted anybody the night before saying that he thought that they were going to kill him. And that obviously reflected poorly on me.
Damn.
Because I was the one who said that he did, in fact, text multiple people the night before. And then I went on Jimmy Dore on Friday, Jimmy Dore's show, and I clarified. I said, Andrew Colvett told me specifically that he was one of the people that received this text message. So I got that first person. I didn't get that from a source. I got that directly from Andrew Colvett. And then somebody who had access to Dan Flood's communications said that Dan Flood similarly received a text message. They owned that right away and explained. Erica said that she has Charlie's phone. She's looking at his iMessages. And it turns out that he, like everybody else, communicates on Signal. He communicates on Telegram.
Obviously.
And that those when she heard me say that, they then went and looked, and yes, that what I said was true.
So they just said something, and then you said it wasn't true. And this is the problem, is that so many people, this is the big issue with like these online conspiracies and these events, is that people get so committed to an outcome that they don't care about the truth anymore. I think that's what's really happened, is that basically you've had people like Candace Owens that have gotten so focused around basically this narrative that Israel killed Charlie Kirk and this is some massive tragedy and all this stuff happened. Like, it's not a lie if you believe it's true, bro. Come on. Yeah, why does she keep looking away? You do that sometimes, but only when you're thinking deeply. Why is she doing it constantly? You really think that? I mean, here's the reason why. You really want the answer? It's that she is probably nervous talking about this because, I mean, Candace Owens isn't stupid. Like, she understands the position that she's in. And you don't have to be a wizard to realize this. So whenever you're trying to like read body language or trying to have some sort of understanding of this is the problem, is that basically people like to put together pieces of a puzzle. But the problem is that sometimes the pieces of the puzzle don't fit together because you don't have all the pieces, right? It's a 100-point puzzle, 100-piece puzzle, and you have 85 pieces, and you just put the rest together. That's what that's the main reason why I think a lot of this happens, is that a lot of these people just basically, you feel, no, I'm being honest, right? And so, and I'll read a few of the comments here. You know what somebody said? Well, this is a person disagreeing with this. What about this? What about this is inaccurate? Yeah, why did you just look to the left? Yeah, exactly. It's just conspiracy shit. Go ahead, explain it. Explain it. Let's get it. Some people can't use critical thinking and start putting squares in holes. I don't think that's what happens. I think actually what's happening here is a little bit different. I think what's happening is that these people want to find an answer to something, and if they can't figure out an answer logically, they will invent one on their own. That's it. And let's see, is there a single person that's going to explain this at all? She said that in the past, he got the messages and they confirmed it now. Yeah, I know that. But like what my point is that there's going to be a miscommunication that happens because very obviously this is something that's evolving in real time. And this is the reason why police don't make bunches of statements on things instantly. It's because to avoid like conflicts like this, they said that he didn't send out any messages because she probably looked at his text messages and said there weren't any text messages. Like the problem is that every miscommunication, every inconsistency, you automatically assume that the inconsistency is because of the most malicious thing possible. That's the reason why it's retarded. It's not retarded because it's like you've noticed something is wrong. It's that you've noticed something is wrong and you've automatically defaulted to it being a massive conspiracy to kill Charlie Kirk. That's the reason why it's problematic. I don't care what your opinion is on like why they didn't release it, but you're already, you basically, this is the issue, is that you start at a conclusion and you work your way backwards. That's the thing that happens. Why don't you listen to all the other people with questions because their bullet is too big? Because the bullet is too big? Well, I don't know. They didn't watch any of Candace's actual evidence? Well, maybe somebody else shot him. Who the fuck knows? Who has any idea? Well, I'll tell you one person who doesn't have an idea. Candace Owens doesn't have an idea. She has no idea. And she's forming conclusions, saying it's because of Israel, saying it's because of X, Y, and Z, saying Turning Point USA was complicit in it. That's the problem, is that you can say some of these things don't add up. Oh, that doesn't make sense. What about this bullet? What's this? That's not a problem. Nobody's complaining about that. What people are complaining about is when you take 2 points on a graph and then, do we still have the picture? No, we don't. The picture's gone. I'm sorry. And she's doing this to make money. Yeah, it's conjecture. That's the issue with all of these conspiracy people. It's that basically there is in almost every single conspiracy theory, there is a leap in logic. And you are making the leap in logic when you say the bullet doesn't match, and then you say Israel, it's some conspiracy, something else is going on. There could be a million reasons for that, but you're not approaching it as if there are a million reasons for that. But this was said for months and people acted like it was a lie without confirming it. Well, because they can't confirm it. They don't have the information. How could they confirm something that they don't even know about? Farming, it's one of the oldest professions. Yes, exactly. And so do you think Candace's conjecture is due to lack of ability to grieve? No, it's because people like her are conspiratorially minded. They constantly fixate on conspiracies. They invent these things in their mind. I don't see, like in my mind, I do not see how anybody can listen to a person who says, Charlie came to me in a dream, and then you say, oh, let's listen to what this person has to say. In my opinion, that is like astronomically fucking retarded. Like, it's unbelievable. So anyway, but when he says he fears for his life and he comes out, he really did fear for his life, and then he dies and people say, never again, of course this conspiracy will arise. No, of course the conspiracy won't arise. And also, it's not about the conspiracy, it's about the conclusion. See, the problem is that people like Candace Owens and other people that are trying to make up this bullshit, it's not that they're inventing it's not that they're identifying inconsistencies, it's that they're creating conclusions because of the inconsistencies. That's the difference between somebody asking questions and somebody creating conclusions. That's the difference. Like you're getting banned. You've come into chat a bunch of times. You've been arguing for other stuff, and I don't want to see this. But anyway, we'll move on. So do you think she's taking advantage for clout chasing? I think that people like this, in a lot of cases, there are not always ulterior motives. Sometimes there are, sometimes there's not. They start with a conclusion and they work backwards. They do. It's that simple.
Colbert received a message the night before, and Dan Flood received a message the night before. Now, they asked me if I had actually like a concrete a copy of what Dan Flood got the night before, and I said no. Somebody told me what it said, which was almost exactly what Andrew said, which is they're going to kill me. Andrew did not know who they were, that he was referring to were, but they clarified that the message that Dan Flood received said the left is going to kill me. So I can't confirm that one way or the other. I have to trust them on that because I did not see that concrete message. I was told that it said they. Now, obviously...
So yeah, of course he's going to think that left-wing people are going to kill him. Is that really crazy? And so anyway, this is it. And everybody is losing their fucking mind on this. Oh, here's more of these. Look at some of these comments. Many of our super chatters were not happy.
And that we have opened the lines of communication I do genuinely think that
there is no way that she can come to the table and ever admit that what happened isn't, like, basically, if she says that it wasn't Israel, or any answer that isn't Israel or the Jews, the people that are watching her will not accept this answer. They won't accept this answer. And so that's it. You let us down. Our only hope. Purchased, lost us. And Candace, if you back down, I'm never supporting you again. I won't support someone I don't trust. I will block your content on every platform. Have the courage to tell the truth. God's got you. After they can't make up the call logs, after they've lied about everything already, just believe them.
Justin Strife did a great job reffing that conversation yesterday, and I also do want to shout out Megyn Kelly, because this was we were trying to make this happen in the background.
Her viewers think the Jews made her say this? Yeah, because the problem is they've already, like, it doesn't matter. Here's the truth. Let me ask you a question. Do you think that these viewers, if you provided fucking solid evidence that this guy, some other person that had nothing to do with Israel killed Charlie Kirk, let's say it's not even Tyler Robinson. It was a secondary shooter that we had no idea about. But they're not connected to Israel at all. Do you think that they would accept that? Is there any level of evidence that they would accept that would cause them to change their mind? No. Okay. Well, that's the end of it, right? That's the end of it. It's over.
Really, since Blake Neff fumbled the first invite. And thank you. That's in large part because of you guys at home that were like, what the F was that? And I think that they got enough flack that they were like, okay, we got to fix this.
Yeah.
But I want to commend him for making
that
happen, for being the person that, kind of rolled up his sleeves and was like, okay, let's actually make a conversation happen and start answering some questions, which I think was done well. And Megyn Kelly, who was initially going to, when we were going to live stream.
This is the most confusing video you've done as far as you've not touching main bases. And this is the other issue, is that whenever you get involved with conspiracy stuff, you have to understand that a lot of the people that do and get involved with conspiracy stuff, I'm just going to be honest, they're stupid. They're just really stupid people. Like, and you can listen and like read their reasoning and like how they explain and look at other things, and you'll see that they're just morons. They're really just morons. Isn't that a leap of logic? No, well, it is. But I think that this is the problem, is that these people convince themselves of something and then nothing can convince them otherwise of it. That's the issue. That's the reason why it's different. Or very smart because they have pattern recognition. Well, it doesn't matter if you have pattern recognition because your recognition is partial. You only have partial recognition to begin with. So you want to call it pattern recognition, that's fine. But at the same time, the pattern recognition, you can't see the entire pattern. So you're just making it up.
The conversation before the Barry Weiss moment, Megyn Kelly offered to ref that conversation. I felt like she would have done a very good job. I do think that she has.
So here, I'll pull another. Somebody's going to get pulled up. What could they provide to you that would make you think that? Actually, you know what? I'm just going to ban them. Never mind. We're just going to ban them. I don't want to deal with it. And by the way, I have a very short fuse with conspiracy people, because I grew up with my mom, who is a conspiracy person, and it made me furious to discuss anything with her because of how blatantly I thought delusional, misguided, thoughtless the way that she would approach things was. I absolutely hate conspiracy theorist stuff. I do. I fucking hate it.
Kept it very even. She has not been hysterical and
that's what I would say.
Demonic, it's evil. How dare Candace? And I appreciated that. She has said, I don't agree with Candace, but I also don't think that she's doing this because she's been possessed by a demon. I think she actually believes these things, and I do. And I have a right to believe those things. And I don't feel any differently about the people that I mentioned on the show that I think are shady at Turning Point USA.
She's not looking at the camera at all. She's looking away constantly. Why are you so smiley about something that was so serious? This doesn't add up. They're applying the same logic and rationale to her that they applied to Erica Kirk to justify why they thought that she killed her husband. It's crazy how deep this is. It really is.
And with time, we'll see whether or not I was right. I think that's really what it comes down to.
She said the movement against Israel
around, definitely a
back
conversation.
years.
Mr. Bruce Lee writes, people in the chat, many other channels are not hearing what they want to hear, so it's automatically, well, Candace got paid. The chats are so
That's it. Yeah, that's what happens.
It's
the chats are botted. Everybody's botted. Has it ever occurred to you that you farmed an audience of people that are so stupid that you think they're bots? Because that's what happened. You farmed an audience of retards, and now you're going against their retard programming, and they're mad.
It's better to actually look at comments after the episode to see what people think. And we've had so many people talk about how there are so many bots in the chat, and so focus on obviously the words that I am saying, and obviously you can tell that I have not been paid, because I wouldn't be talking about Israel. And I think
it's just crazy. And so anyway, this is what's been going on now for a while. Let me go. Obviously, Nick Fuentes, Candace Owens is done. What a letdown. TLDR from the big Candace and Erica reveal. Candace got the call, according to her own audience. The monster she built is turning on her. LMFAO. The comment section is glorious. Is it really that bad? Let me see if I can pull it up and find it. Okay, let's see here. 56,000 down dudes. Oh my God. My advice, if people can't be trusted, I think I just realized that we, the people, will never be allowed to know. Private meetings are not for public discourse. They're for making deals. Erica goes around giving interviews to everyone and their mama, but you guys can't have a live interview. This is like when my parents replaced my dead goldfish with another goldfish as if I wouldn't notice. I'm going to be honest. Some of these are pretty funny. And a 4.5-hour conversation, and yet here we are. The people are still confused as fuck. Yeah, because they haven't figured it out. Someone should study this video. How to go from hero to zero in less than 60 minutes. Way to ruin your reputation, Candace. It's a big club, and we aren't in it. This feels like swimming the whole Atlantic and then dying in the shore. What a waste. Man. I almost feel bad for some of these people, man. I do. The only conspiracy that's real is Agartha. Everybody knows that. Yeah, look at this here. You don't get to choose when you want privacy when you're making everything public since the beginning. I don't know what that is. Crawling back into my cave, I thought we almost had a real one. Oh my God. Well, I was afraid this would happen. This would happen. Goodbye, Candace. Is she losing subscribers for this? No, not really. Yeah, not really. It seems like that's not really what's happening. Okay, well, she had a good run. They're genuinely disappointed. That's because they've already made up their mind that Israel killed Charlie Kirk. That was it. So... let me see. Is people say she's doing a... oh, God.
The best part is getting started because it only takes about 10 seconds, and it's also completely free. Just grab your phone,
she's
open the
doing
App
an
Store,
ad.
Google Play, type in Rumble, and hit download. Once you're in, you
I'm
can
not a
search
bot,
Candace
but I
Owens and click
unsubscribed.
follow so that
They
you never
got
miss a new episode.
Candace.
You'll get
This is
notified
live.
every single time that I go live.
It's
as well.
live.
You care about free speech, if you want platforms that respect your right to
Oh,
think for
no.
yourself, and if you're tired of big tech deciding what's allowed, then this is the moment that you can make
Yeah,
that
Rumble's
switch.
great.
Your voice matters, and the platforms that you choose matter just as much. Move to Rumble today. Just click the link in the description below, download the app, and join us. I'll see you guys
Sellout.
over
Don't
there.
let bots take over.
I am telling you guys, we are in a fight for our minds. These are psychological wars that they impart upon the people, and I have never seen one more extreme than this Charlie Kirk cover-up that the feds are engaged in. Speaking of which, I've heard the rumors, obviously, that Dan
It was
Bongino, which
you.
it looks like Trump has just confirmed, is going to leave the FBI. As assistant director of the FBI.
That's pretty big.
He will be stepping down. Trump said that he thinks that Dan wants to get back to his show. I think Dan has probably realized how far-reaching this corruption goes. I have been wondering why Dan has been silent, I would say effectively silent on the Charlie Kirk situation. He has not been a part of the people that have been
He's
feeding us
tainted
trash. And maybe his silence is actually some dignity. Like saying, I'm not going to take part in this. And he's doing maybe what Marjorie Taylor Greene
has tons
did
of disposable
and said, this
income.
is hopelessly broken. And I feel like I'm betraying the American people, and he's going to leave. And maybe he feels like he can fight better from behind the mic. And I certainly am feeling
being
like
on a
we are doing
microphone is
going to
help being
just by
more than being in the
investigating
FBI.
this
Surely.
And when I say we, I genuinely mean you guys back at home, because I feel like we're all kind of waking up to just how much the military controls how botted comment sections can be. I click on this person and they just created an account. That's a war on your mind, okay? That's a war on your mind. So sticking with this theme of federal corruption that transpired on that day, a major question, and I need to do more research on this, that in terms of like who was driving and what everybody said on the day. Yeah. But what happened to the car that Charlie was driven into the hospital?
Oh my God.
While he was still alive. Or better yet, what do you think should have happened to that car, or what is required to happen to a car after someone is assassinated in a car or like is bleeding in a car and there's evidence? I would have assumed that the feds impounded the vehicle.
I thought they put him in an ambulance.
You agree? That seems like every show that you watch. What? I used to watch 48 Hours. You got to impound the vehicle so that you can
live
then
chat
collect
and not top
more
chat?
evidence.
Sorry.
The only indication of what we have learned from people that were actually in that vehicle on that day came from Frank Turek. And he does discuss with Megyn
the
Kelly
Israel flags,
him getting his bag at the hospital after the FBI cleared the vehicle.
She's basing this off a TV show?
To his mouth. Let's take a listen to what Frank Turek had to say.
They roped off the vehicle that we took out of there as a crime scene. I don't know why. It wasn't part of the crime scene, really. So we couldn't get into the vehicle until the FBI cleared it. And it happened that Charlie, in the back seat below him, between these two bucket seats, was my computer bag. So everything, I couldn't go anywhere. You know, my wallet was in there. I wasn't going anywhere anyway, but I had to go in and get that out. And so when they finally cleared it, I got into the car and I pulled out my bag and
so she believes something because of a dream and she learns things from watching
Charlie's
TV.
Necklace that had a cross and medallions on it. And I had heard they were looking for that. And so cop was like, "Oh, we've been looking for that." I said, "I got it." So I just took it.
Okay. So he's explaining that they did say this is a crime scene. Obviously, there could be evidence in here that we need. That makes sense to me. And
ignore the
bots. Him to grab his bag and Charlie's necklace, and he goes away. And I would have assumed that they then impounded the vehicle for further inspection.
Wow.
But if I had assumed that, I would be wrong. Actually, what happened is immediately after the car was transported to it was towed to a towing facility that's just kind of really around the corner from the hospital. And then from there on Monday, they had another tow truck come and take that car so that it could get a cleaning and be immediately put up for auction. Now, this is unusual on two ends of this. I'll tell you what those two ends are. The first end is that this was a rental vehicle, right? And even if a crime happens in a rental vehicle, especially a brand new one that is that big, you as the owner of a rental car facility,
I was going to do it.
You have an option to get that car back. You have an option, obviously, to get that car back, to get it cleaned. If you're going to get the whole thing recarpeted, that would be a tremendous loss against the company for you to just, never mind, whatever, sell it. Well, apparently, and I'm saying this allegedly, the owner of the company was in California at the time. He gets a phone call and he's just like, no, never want to see this vehicle ever again.
How do I put
at
the
our
Israeli
facility?
flag
I don't want there to be any PTSD for the people that work here at the rental facility. Just like get rid of it. You could sell it and that's it. It's never coming back here. Maybe that is just kind of the good-natured response. I would assume they weren't gonna, haul it in with all of Charlie's blood in it. But the speed at which this vehicle was just given up effectively for auction is unusual, especially because they didn't even require insurance to come, which would make sense. We know how this works. You can't collect, even if you're going to say, whatever, I want to get rid of this vehicle. You're going to want to make sure that you have tons of pictures and evidence, and you got to send the insurance guys. The insurance guys have to talk about how much damage has been done to this vehicle. I don't know who has to pay for it to be fixed before it can be sold, but you're going to have to send insurance. None of that happened, okay? Just like, woof, that's it. The feds saw it. Everything's going down at the hospital. The feds are really at this hospital, and then it's over. I find that to be very strange. I have 6 photos of the inside of that vehicle. We are on the fence about, and I don't know what you guys think in terms of YouTube and showing this, or
just
show
the video
up on the website.
Just show it
when we drop all of the Egyptian plane logs. I mean, what do we think, guys? I'm letting you, Mark, make a decision here about whether or not. And if we do show this, is obviously like very viewer discretion advised.
This is, listen, this is going to go on forever. Like, just show the stuff. That's what people want to see. Who do you think doesn't want to see the stuff? Like, it's crazy that this is even a conversation. So anyway, this is going on. I'm wheezing. I survived my meeting with Erica Kirk.
All you guys want to know what happened during my meeting with Erica. So here it goes. We met in Nashville because I didn't want to fly anywhere and have my plane shut down by Israel. So I told her to come here instead. She gets here, and first thing she does is she gives me some homemade cookies. And I'm like, bitch, I ain't eating those poison chocolate chip cookies. She tried to poison me. Anyway, I'm still alive after almost dying from the poisoned Israeli cookies, and we start talking.
Israeli cookies.
Then, you're not going to believe what happened next. The waiter asks us if we want something to drink, but he's wearing the Star of David. So I'm like, I ain't about to drink no poisons lemonade from you Mossad agent. So anyway, I almost die again from Israeli lemonade.
I love how you guys don't even know if it's AI or not.
Poisoning. And Erica is
Doesn't
like,
that say a lot?
I'll just have some water, please, which is obviously code for, you better kill this bitch right now. Am I right?
What?
So we talk, and she tells me I'm acting crazy or whatever. So I asked her to show me pictures of her of when she was younger. And she's like, why? So I'm like, oh my God, she doesn't have any. So I just discovered she's actually a man, and I'm now talking to this man who is probably an Israeli spy sent here to kill me. So I get up, I go to the bathroom, I dig a hole under the shitter like El Chapo, and I finally made it back to tell you guys the story and get paid millions by YouTube to keep you guys stupid and against Trump and Turning Point, because I'm just a piece of shit like that. Anyway, thank you for your views, retards.
Absolute cinema. Complete and absolute cinema. Wow. And yeah, bro, that's expectation versus reality. It sure is. And if I can find a few more of these here too, but oh my fucking God. It is unreal the level of our Candace's retarded viewers are slowly realizing that they're retarded. They're like, wait a minute. Wait, what do you mean about, no, what is this? And so anyway, so she went on Piers Morgan's show. This is, and I know I've talked around it, and now we're finally at the new news, okay? This is the new news. Oh boy, oh boy. How long is this? Do I want to watch the whole thing? This is an hour. I'm not watching the whole thing. Okay, we're going to watch the highlights. That's crazy. So this is the first one.
Kurt, why would he say that?
So
why was he so involved as somebody who's fighting a 97,000 front war?
Candace, I want to get to the reality of what you're actually saying. So when you say that somebody at Turning Point USA, Charlie's company, was complicit in his murder, who? Mm-hmm. Who was?
I believe that there were multiple people.
There's never going to be any specifics because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You're just making this up. Maybe tonight she'll have a new dream and Charlie Kirk will tell her who betrayed him.
At Turning Point, who are, as I have said many times, my exact words are, they are engaged in a cover-up of what happened to Charlie on that day.
No, but who was involved in his murder?
I didn't say that they murdered Charlie.
You said that people at Turning Point...
Oh, here we go. Here's the quote.
...were complicit in his murder.
No, my exact sentence that I said was that there were people at Turning Point who are engaged in a cover-up.
No, you didn't.
I believe that thoroughly.
Candice, you didn't say that.
Run the tapes.
You said literally...
I did say that on my entire show.
You said there were people at Turning Point complicit in his murder.
Okay.
That's what you said.
When you and I were discussing, that's why I said, let's go back. I was applying the logic of a conspiracy to JFK. I said, okay, if JFK, you have people that...
So because of this one conspiracy that I blame on Israel, well, Israel did this one too. Well, because there's one that I have partial information on, I think I know the answer to the other one. Well, there it is. She's cooked. She is.
They're complicit. Of course,
Let's
if you
forget
apply that
JFK.
logic, if there
Let's
is a
forget
conspiracy,
JFK.
there's going to be multiple people that are going to be complicit by
Yeah,
the time,
of course.
in order for a large
We don't
stage
know
murder to
anything.
You
happen.
specifically
So I was using
said,
an
you didn't say
analogy of
complicit in a
JFK.
cover-up. You
No.
said complicit
Okay,
in the murder. Because I
I'm glad he's pressing her on this.
said
Okay,
who at Turning Point
let
was
me
involved
clarify for you.
in his murder. And
Let
you
me
said,
clarify for you. Okay,
Do you think she's about to clarify? Guys, I really wonder.
you can keep saying what I said, or you can listen to what I am saying.
Okay.
When I was using the analogy of JFK and we were connecting it, I was basically pushing back on you because you were suggesting that, all of these people being involved would be crazy. So I was applying the analogy
I said,
of
I
what
don't
happened
know.
to JFK. Well, you actually, if you go back and
I
listen,
said, I
were,
don't know.
suggesting that a
I
conspiracy...
said, you don't know
okay, well,
either. You're floating
He's right. Piers is right. I know Piers stocks are down because of the Nick interview, but when he's right, he's right.
theories.
When we started talking about the
you're perfectly
JFK thing,
entitled. Listen, let me make it clear.
Piers, I really think you're not holding on to your thoughts
Candace,
here correctly.
let me spell out my thought very clearly.
When we
to you.
started talking
Let
about
me spell-
JFK,
hang
the
on,
implication
Candace,
that you were
hang on.
making
Let me
was that
explain
it
my
was
thought to
crazy
you.
to suggest that multiple
Let me
people could have
explain
been
my
involved
thought
at
to you.
different levels.
Candace.
I was then connecting the dots and saying that
Okay.
in order for the JFK assassination to happen, there had to have been tons of people that were complicit,
I understand.
right?
I heard what you
Maybe
said.
you're the person who takes the cameras down. Maybe you're the
I
person
understand
that
what you're
told him
saying,
to drive
Candace.
that day. Maybe you're LBJ. So they're not all complicit in the murder.
It's obvious what you mean. Well, they would be, by the way. They would be complicit. If what do you mean? That's if you're hiding the security cameras, then you'd be absolutely. What do you?
But they're all at different varying stages involved in the cover-up,
Okay.
right? So that's what a grand conspiracy actually is.
Okay.
And I do believe, so you don't have to go back and we don't have to go through it. I'm telling you what I think about Turning Point. I am very known for being honest about what I believe. I'm not exactly a person that you got to pull teeth on.
Sure.
I believe that there are people
That's
at Turning
me.
Point who are engaged in covering up what happened on that day.
But were
I
any
have
of them
named-
engaged in the planning of the murder of Charlie Kirk?
I wouldn't know how it was planned. I can't make that. I cannot confidently make that statement. I can say confidently that I know they're engaged in the cover up because I've been investigating what happened on that day and what transpired thereafter. I've been clear. I've named those people on my show. I've said they are engaged in a cover up and I've listed the lies. So you don't have to try to make something out of what I didn't say. I tell you what I think. It's already controversial. We don't need to get more controversial.
Yeah.
Okay. Do I think someone at Turning Point pulled the trigger? No. Obviously, I don't think someone at Turning
Do you
Point
think
pulled the trigger. We
anybody
don't
at
even
Turning
know who
Point
did pull the
anybody
trigger.
at
So how can
Turning
I say
Point
that they're...
did anybody at Turning Point, in your opinion, know that Charlie Kirk was going to be murdered?
There is specifically 2 people at Turning Point USA,
Oh boy.
and I have communicated that
Oh,
information to Erica and Justin Strife, that I would not be surprised if they had foreknowledge of Charlie Kirk being assassinated.
Okay, so not really then. All right.
But do you have
Now,
any evidence
I'm
for
not
that?
going to name. I am not going to name
You have any evidence for that?
those people, okay? Because it's not right for me to name those people until I know for a fact that they did.
Did you give the names Did you give the names to Erica?
Yes,
So
I absolutely did. I
you
said I
gave
would-
the names to Erica of 2 employees, current employees at Turning Point, who you believe were involved in the preparation for
been.
the
That's
murder
what
of
she
Charlie
said.
Kirk. Is that what you're saying?
I told them that if I were in your shoes, these would be 2 employees that I would look further into. That's
And what
I
evidence
said.
do you have that they had any prior knowledge of the murder?
Because I don't have concrete evidence is the reason why I'm not naming them. So I
Oh my god. Oh my god.
been
So you've got no
responsible. I'm
evidence,
not saying,
but you're telling the widow that these 2 people may have been involved in the murder. But you see the problem.
It sounds pretty bad.
well, what the evidence for it is people that there is not concrete evidence. It's like you're trying to
the
get
evidence for it is that
me to say something that I never said and then asking me to defend it.
No, I'm
not
asking
saying
what
it.
evidence
Let's
you've
actually
got.
go to. You're asking me privately.
it
Did I communicate to them that I think you should look further? That's called an investigation, Piers.
Who do you decide? How do he's it's this is the thing to me is like, you know what I've always said about I hate the dishonesty. I hate the gaslighting. That's if somebody's stupid, I can respect that. But like, it's the intentional fucking lying. This shit where he's not asking you about, do you have evidence that they did it? It's, why are you picking these people? She knows this. She knows what he's asking, and she's talking around it. She's talking around it. The fact that she thinks that she deserves all the answers is crazy. Yes. She's talking out of exactly. How did you decide that these are the people? She banks on her viewers being morons? Yeah. And she's at a pretty big fucking bank, huh? How about that? Wow. I've seen this. And let's see if there's any more of these. Oh, there's even more about big surprise. Big surprise. Here we go.
The reason I told the Alex Jones story is he did incredibly well out of Sandy Hook with his investigations. But as was established in the court case against him, brought by the families eventually, and I think we're going to see the same thing with Brigitte Macron and you, is that he was.
So this is okay. We're switching gears slightly here. You guys might not understand this. So Candace Owens also thinks that Brigitte Macron, who is the wife of the Prime Minister of France, was born a man and is actually a secret transsexual, and the French government tried to kill her in order to shut her up and stop her from talking about this. Do you want to know what's really sad? I believe this one more than a Charlie Kirk one. I do.
Weaponizing deliberate lies for money. And I think you've
Brigitte
did that.
Macron has a penis. I really want you to know that.
Brigitte Macron does not have a penis.
Brigitte Macron has a penis.
No, she doesn't.
I'm sorry.
This is the news. We are so back. God damn. That's right.
Macron does not have a penis.
Brigitte penis. I really want you to know that.
Brigitte Macron does not have a penis.
Brigitte Macron has a penis. I really want you to know that.
Brigitte Macron does not have a penis.
Brigitte Macron has a penis.
No, she doesn't.
I'm sorry.
She had 3 children.
Did she get it removed?
She had 3 children.
Yeah, you can have adoptive children. You can call somebody, but Brigitte Macron was born a dude named Jean-Michel Trogneau. Well, and I just feel, I want you to know that. I want you to know that Brigitte Macron probably stands peeing up. Probably pee standing up is what I want you to know.
The beauty is...
Oh my God. This is something? That's right.
The beauty is we have a big bet.
I think Brigitte
have a big bet.
How would she know? She knows. So in a dream...
You're going to find out because it's going to court. And, you know, you will lose that court case. I think you know you will.
Well, luckily she has an insanity plea that she can use to get out of any sort of judgment. I think that's about it. And, wow. Let me see if there's any more of this here that's worth looking at. But Candace says gaydar. Yeah, I guess so. The dream investigator. Can you imagine being the person that's investigating this? Do they have this time stamped? Because I'd love to see the part where... Because I don't really think that this is some other bullshit. I don't care about this a whole lot. And this is the Brigitte Macron. Oh, yeah. Yeah, obviously this is it. She's on her Alex Jones look. Yes. And it's just so fucking ridiculous. And did she see the penis in the dream? That is a very good question. I don't think that she's answered that at all. And so, yeah, did she see Brigitte Macron's dick in a dream? You know what? What's this? We got to do something, bro. This is so stupid. It is crazy.
Here it is. Lean in. Come here. Come on, Brigitte. Elysee Palace, all the aides. I know you're watching. Listen. There is, you are correct, a very clear and convincing reason that I have committed myself to the story. And it is something that you probably in France are not aware of. You're right. Something else was motivating this outside of France. A person. You are correct. And that person is Latarian Milton.
Latarian Milton is not your typical 7-year-old. Few his age
not.
have ever driven an SUV up and down several busy streets. It all started at his mother's townhouse. Latarian says he took the car keys and hopped into his grandmother's Dodge Durango.
When I came through the back door, I looked on the counter, my keys were gone.
I took my grandma car because I got mad at my mom.
True.
And I
don't know what the fuck he's saying.
And he smokes with cigarettes.
He started the vehicle and put it into gear.
I yanked the thing.
And off they went. Two 7-year-olds
Do you think she's running out of
alone on
money?
the road.
No.
Latarian drove several miles through Lake
This have to do
Parkin,
with Bridget
a
McCrone.
parking lot. And
It's fun to do bad things, right? And when you said nobody could talk about this and you started going after journalists, I was like, I don't know. It's fun to do bad things. No.
That's the dumbest argument I've ever heard in my life. That nobody's talking about the fact that Bridget McCrone is a man, which means that she's a man. Oh my God.
I don't want to do hood rat stuff with my friends in the basement. That's what we're doing here. We are doing hood rat stuff with our friends in the basement. And you can put me under oath. I will testify. No one else was involved but this icon, Latarian Milton, who told us this was okay. They made this okay in America. Just let bad take over you.
Yeah.
And to do the bad
There's
stuff.
also a French journalist who agrees?
That's what happened here.
Really?
And I hope
Okay, I
that
guess it's
clarifies
true.
things and that you can spend less money to get to the bottom of this. I just want to.
I cannot wait for the trial for her saying this woman is a man, right? Where do these people keep spawning from? These people, so people like this spawn from just simply conversations. That's it. There's just conversations, people like this that say this stuff. It appears did a decent job holding your feet to fire. Yeah, is this another one?
Is that he was weaponizing deliberate lies.
Oh, here we go.
And I think we're going to see the same thing with Brigitte Macron.
Oh, no, I did see this already. Never mind. And yeah, she's criticizing an old viral video. Well, what I'm saying is that, I mean, a lot of this stuff that happens and like all of this drama surrounding it, I feel like it's pretty obvious that like she's basically written herself into a corner. I think that's what's happened with Candace, is that she's totally, oh God, is this, okay, give me a minute. I'll look at this in a minute. But anyway, she's written herself into a corner because basically, and you can see everybody is talking about this. Thank you for making me think that Asmongold is some sort of psyop. What? No. Absolutely not. What are you talking about this shit for?
People have watched crime scenes, and that fully explains the mass freakout. So we have, well, big days coming up ahead of us, guys. We're going to have this guy give you his testimony, and it's very controversial, but it is the truth, and we must follow it. And we are also going to make that accessible for you. Maybe I can even get it up tonight on CandaceOwens.com. And I also think that I should share the pictures of the incident.
It's just talking about this. Like, again, like, why would you not just share the information? Of course, people want to see the evidence. Obviously, they want to see the evidence. So basically, this is what's happened, right? Is that she's written herself into a corner to where she cannot relent on the conspiracy that Charlie Kirk was killed by, I think that the majority of people, am I accurate in saying this? That I think that the majority of people think that Charlie Kirk was killed by Israel. And this is another one, tier 2. Admits she knew they didn't kill him during her non-apology. Oh, Jesus. It's something a psyop would say. Yeah, she's totally written herself into a corner.
Of course, I was locked in this meeting when people online were another round of debunking the Egyptian planes. I want to be very clear. We discussed the Egyptian planes, and I have since worked on an incredible document about the Egyptian planes, which we are going to put up on our websites, because I realized that when we shared that spreadsheet, people assumed that one of the columns, which was actually saying where the planes landed on that day, because it was plus or minus 3 days, was exactly where Erica had been on that day, and that was inaccurate. And so for clarity, I had been working on the last week on turning it into an interactive timeline that we can put up on our website.
I wonder if anybody's ever asked the question, do you really think that Candace Owens is going to get to the bottom of Israel killing Charlie Kirk? I mean, do we really, like, I mean, even if you think it happened, right? I mean, do we really think that she's going to be able to, like, unravel this tapestry? Is this really what's going to happen? I mean, what if she does? So Candace Owens is going to unravel the global jewelry tapestry that's been carefully constructed ever since the formation of Israel and then reinforced through false flags like 9/11 to make America subservient to Israel. She is going to be the bringer of justice. Do we really think this? I mean, like, let's take a step back. Take a step back.
Right. Because I'm certain that these Egyptian planes are incredibly shady and that they were, in fact, tracking Turning
She got to have some more dreams then.
Point USA faith, broader events. Of course, Erica was at some of them. Charlie was at some of them.
Yeah.
But it is the pattern here is undeniable. So let the naysayers and people make videos trying to, fifth round debunk these planes. I also want to say to you that I feel very confident that I know why these planes have caused such panic. And it is because there is overwhelming evidence that these planes regularly fly in and out of Israel. And I'm going to present that evidence tomorrow, say that strongly. This is I feel very confident saying these Egyptian planes are flying in and out. And notice I'm saying planes because once I was able to connect people that were on those planes onto other Egyptian planes, I was able to realize that these planes are flying in and out of Israel and turning their transponder off each time that they do it. That is now makes perfect sense of why there was this mass panic, right? It's not exactly like we have a strong Egyptian lobby in the United States. Not like we're like, whoa, well, those darn Egyptians again are trying to get TikTok censored. I mean, every person in the game, Barry, acting. Well, these are the usual suspects that act if something is a threat to Israel, okay? Which is, they should have just been forthcoming, pretended that it was changing apart. Instead, they're trying to gaslight us, and they're actually, frankly, just pissing me off. So I became...
Somebody says, what do you think we should do? Act like nothing happened? It would at least be nice to know what happened, even if that's all we get from it. Yes, she's the only one truly going after the truth on Charlie's death. I think I should ask you something, because I don't think that you're being unreasonable. If she came out and told you that the official story was accurate, would you believe her? Let's say somebody else did. Yeah, honestly, I have nothing else to go off of. Okay, well, we'll see what happens. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Do you believe the official story? I don't think that there was some, maybe it was some weird plot from some employee or something like that, but I don't think that there's a grand design to it. Even if there's some low-level conspiracy, it's not consequential in the grand scheme of things. Let's say there's an employee, let's say theoretically, right? There's an employee that conspired to kill Charlie Kirk, and this person did that. I don't really think... I think it's very unlikely that it's going to be revealed in any sort of a genuine way that, Israel was involved in this, or there was any sort of large-scale conspiracy to kill the guy. It's not impossible. Yeah, it's not impossible, no. But I think what is very unlikely is that this is going to be unraveled. So even if there was a low-level conspiracy, and I don't even necessarily know if there was. I mean, maybe not. I don't know. But I think that really, and this is what my concern is. This is why I have such a problem with conspiracy theory stuff, is that oftentimes they are basically solutions looking for facts. And I think that's kind of what's happened here, is that people have made up their mind about what's happened. And now they're going to go with that no matter what. They've already made up their mind this is happening. So, like, if there is a conspiracy, like, let's say it's discovered that one of the people was working with the shooter. Like, let's say there's a second shooter. The person, even if the person came from Israel, even if it was an Israeli that killed him, that doesn't necessarily mean that the Israeli government said for them to do that. So there's all of these, like, very big logical jumps that happen all the time inside of conspiracy theories. And I think that the process of that oftentimes makes the people that do them look stupid. So that's the main issue that I have, the tail's wagging the dog. Yeah, there's basically, it's sure, but yeah. And I think that really, like, it's not that I don't believe anything or I do believe anything. What I really criticize with this kind of stuff more than anything is that it's the willingness to come to a conclusion with, am I getting bad? No, you're not getting bad. It is the willingness to come to a conclusion with partial and or incomplete evidence. And that's really what the difference is. And I think that the end result of this is that what she's effectively doing is that, and I think that this criticism is accurate, that a lot of the criticism of Israel is now going to be filtered through this, like, fucking schizo theory, right? So now it's going to make the people that are critical of Israel seem more, basically not worth listening to.
Locked in on these Egyptian planes, because that's
what I think is happening.
You keep pushing me and keep pushing me. Mm-hmm. I will become an expert on these planes. I'll learn how to build an Egyptian plane. And the reality is, like I said, tomorrow I will show you how these planes tie back to Israel. And there's no disproving this. So more on that later.
There's no disproving it. Well, that's easy.